How much do you believe in urban legends? When you travel, you hear a lot of superstitious things and urban legends. Some of these I kind of believe, and some of these seem too far-fetched. But either way, they are pretty amusing, at least. So, in this episode, I'll talk about one of the urban legends that I heard in Budapest. Stay with me. My name is Sunny, and I wanted to create a podcast that would be like a campfire where you tell stories, share life experiences, sing songs, tell jokes, and come home with great vibes. That's why I created Campfire Corner. Welcome to Campfire Corner with Sunny. Hello again, this is Sunny, and you're listening to Campfire Corner with Sunny. This is February, and we are still talking about my Christmas trip to Budapest. Things are getting quite ridiculous now, so I am going to finish this today. This is going to be the last episode of this series and of this podcast for season 1. We will start a season 2 as well. Don't worry, so all my 7 subscribers can keep listening to these fantastic stories, and hopefully in 2024 we will get a few more subscribers. But let's continue with the story. This is the last part of the story. Last day in Budapest. I was enjoying myself on the last day as well. I was not too tired, and Budapest is a town where there's always so much to do and so much to see. Or if you just want to chill, it's a lovely place for that. So even though it was the last day, I was not feeling like, oh my God, I want to get out of here, get home. It was more like, yeah, why don't I live here? I always feel like I live there because it's such a comfortable town to be in. After I did the tour of the Opera House, I decided let's go to the Heroes Square. Heroes Square is a nice place for taking pictures. Let me tell you a little bit about Heroes Square as well as I'm walking towards the Heroes Square. From the Opera House, by the way, this is my advice. Don't do this. Don't walk to Heroes Square. It's quite far. That road, what is called Andrassy Avenue, it's a long road. It's a nice road to walk along, but it's quite long. And if you go in winter, like I did in December, it's gonna be it can be a little bit of a torturous walk. I had gone there last time couple times, and I had come back from all the way from Heroes Square to the last bit, which was the park, but it was on an e-scooter. So e-scooters, even though they ride slowly, they're still much faster than a pedestrian, and you don't tire yourself out riding them. So I did not actually realize how long that road actually was. So I decided, okay, I must be halfway along that road already towards Heroes Square, because I was already at the Opera House, and thought, okay, I can just walk the rest of the distance. Yeah, wrong move. But it was not as bad as I'm making it sound. It was not like I was just dragging myself along. But it was a little bit tiring, a little bit and it can be a little bit boring as well, because in winters it gets dark soon. So I was trying to beat the dusk so I could take some pictures. I managed it. I did get there just before sunset, and then I was able to take some pictures. Then just behind, let's talk about Heroes Square, what it is. It's a monument. It has a big pillar in the middle, and it has these two semicircular colonnades. They are like series of columns on the sides. And this has, it's called the Millennium Monument in the middle, and it has 7 chieftains of the Magyars, the Hungarian chieftains. And there are statues of some other important Hungarian national leaders along those colonnades that I'm talking about. The square is at the completely outbound end of the Andrassy Avenue, very close to the city park, and the city park itself is also very interesting. This is just behind the Heroes Square, which is where I headed after this. And there's a body of water there, I don't know, it's too small to be called a lake, but it's too big to be called a pool. So I don't know what you would call it. But at this time, it was frozen. Last time I went, it was water. This time, it was completely ice, and there were people. There was a proper skating going on, and there was a Zamboni clearing the snow, clearing the ice as well. So yeah, I find that machine very funny. That the name Zamboni is something, yeah, it's something amusing, and it has an amusing name as well. That doesn't always happen. Behind this, if you just keep walking, by the way, there was a small Christmas market here as well, right behind this city park, this little body of water, pool, lake, and thing right beside that. And there is one sign beside this body of water which says Budapest. So if you want to take a picture of a sign that says Budapest, this is one of the places where you can do that. You'll have to zoom in though, case it's across that body of water. Yeah, so there was a little Christmas market here as well, and there was some food and drink and mulled wine, all that, all the normal stuff. Behind that, though, it was my target where I wanted to go. There is a castle called the Vaida Hunyad Castle. Yes, it is a bit hard to pronounce, but it's a beautiful castle for photos. And when you walk into the grounds, there's a door that I find quite interesting. It's one of those doors which has these very sharp spiky gate. It's a sharp spiky gate, as in if there was something under it and the gate came down, it will cut that thing in two. So I won't say that I'm nervous about it, but I do pass that point rather quickly, just in case. I have a very vivid imagination. So one thing that I was looking for here, I didn't want to go into the castle. I don't even know if that was open this time, but I wanted to go into the ground. In the ground, there are some statues, some very interesting statues, and the one that I wanted is called the Anonymous statue. Okay, it's a kind of a weird statue. Okay, it's green, and it's of a guy sitting on a bench, and this is and he's got a hoodie on his head. You can't actually see the face of this person, and he's very ominous. He's got an ominous presence. He looks very imposing and not status, I would say. Yeah, he's a bit, he dominates the scene, and his face is not shown in there. So even he has a face. No, I'm not talking about like he's a black person. He's not a black person. He's just got that like a dark hole where his face should be, and there is a face inside that hoodie, but you can't see it because it's so deep in the hoodie. And you would a little bit be you were a little bit nervous to peer too deeply into that. So, but the person himself is not supposed to be scary or anything like that. So, but the statue is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it's very good to see. This is the statue of a writer. Okay, and you don't often see statues of writers. And even, yeah, you would realize that writers are often celebrated after they are dead. In their lifetime, they are usually at the very worst, they are poor, and the most celebrity they get is if somebody declares war on them, and somebody issues a death order against them. Something like that happens, then they become famous. Otherwise, writers often spend their life in ignominy. It's a sad story. Don't get me started on that. But this writer was a chronicler at the court of King Bela III from the years 1172 to 1196. He wrote the early history of the early Magyars. Magyar is the word for Hungary. So he has Okay, here's the legend about him. Here's the urban legend about him. In the statue form, the writer is holding a pen. It's a golden pen with a shiny tip in his hand. So his hand is kind of hanging over the side of the seat where he's sitting, and he's holding this pen between his fingers. And writers, both real writers and people who want to be writers, they come and they stroke the pen for inspiration. Okay, so it's supposed to bring you inspiration. The first time I went to Budapest, I had gone there. That's the first time I learned that legend, and I had gone and stroked the pen and also took some pictures. But all those pictures kind of disappeared from my roll. I could not find them. Don't know what happened there, and I'm not saying foul play or anything ominous, anything like that. No, there's no voodoo involved there, but just I could not find them. I had all other photos, just not those photos. And I knew that I had sent one of the photos to a friend of mine over on Telegram Messenger as well, but even that I could not find anymore. So yeah, freaky. So that's the reason I actually wanted to go back and take more pictures and see what happens this time. This time I do have the pictures. So that was that. And from there, so by the time it was kind of oh yeah, I was able to pass on the urban legend to a couple of other visitors who were coming there to take the pictures. And I said, like, do you know the story, and do you have to do that? And then, oh really? Yeah. So you would be surprised how many aspiring writers there are in the world. And there was some other statue as well. They were telling me another story about that statue, that you rub the head of either is the Newton or Shakespeare. I forgot. Sorry, there's not even a comparison between the two, but I forgot who it was. But you're supposed to stroke their head too for good luck. I spent so much time in chasing first the hero's square for the pictures, and then the statue and everything, that now I do not have time to walk back, because walking along Andrassy Avenue is going to take about 45 minutes, if not more. So I thought, okay, I'll take the metro. And you have to be careful about metro with Google in Budapest, because Google doesn't always point it out very clearly that you have to take a metro, which means that you have to go down some steps and find the correct platform and everything. I did manage to go downstairs, but I was not sure whether I was on the right platform or not. So I got into a metro, the first one that I saw, and went a few stops, and then I came back out and I checked where I was. I was on the correct route, but I had not just gone far enough. There is one, I think there's a hexagon. There's a hexagon square as well in the middle between Andrassy Avenue and the terminal. But in order to get to that, you will have to walk along. And I had seen this before in the first time I had gone there in the summer. Anyway, so I got to my bus stop by using the metro, the bus that takes you all the way to the airport, and I had bought the ticket online. Again, I'm going to remind you, Budapest Go is the app to download and install even before you go to Hungary, because you can buy your passes from there and you can buy your single-use tickets from there as well. And because you have that already, you can have it ready for use as soon as I get out of the airport. You don't have to hunt around or try to find your way, how to use public transport and all that. And that express bus that goes from the middle of the city all the way to the airport, that's really nice. It has maybe one or two stops very close to each other where it's picking up passengers, and then it just goes like a bullet to the airport, which is quite nice. When I got there, it was quite full, but again, this is another tip for this bus: don't take a very crowded one, because then you'll be standing about half an hour, 45 minutes. Just leave it, and another one will come within 5 minutes, maybe not even 5 minutes. So that's what I did. I just let it go, and the next one came, and I had a seat there and everything. So comfortably I had a chance to take out my power banks and start charging my devices in the bus itself and all of that. At the airport, again, I chose the comfortable route once I got through airport security, which is quite easy in Budapest compared to some places which I can mention since then. But I just found a lounge, AS Lounge it was called. No, no, it's not AS Lounge. It's called Sky Court Lounge. And on my Monzo, if you live in UK, you should get the Monzo card and get the premium service because it gives you so many different advantages. With the Sky, with lounges, it has a Sky lounge key access, and lounge key gives you access to so many lounges all over the world at a discounted price. So I have to pay £24, and if I had somebody else with me, they could also get in at that same price. And lounges are slightly better than waiting outside, even if the airport is not very crowded or crazy like some airports in the world that I know. Heathrow is one of them, New Delhi is one of them, Bombay definitely, and a couple of others that are really, really busy and you can't even find a seat to sit. So even if you have that space outside, lounges are slightly better because you can get food there, food, drink, and the toilets are not being used by as many people, so they are usually cleaner, much better smelling, better facilities. Some places have showers as well. All of them have these power sockets, so you can charge your devices, you can work there if you have a longer time. Most of them give you access for about 2 hours, so if you get to the airport about 3 hours before, then you have that much time to just sit in the lounge and relax, eat, drink, and be merry. And after that, there's the flight. My flight was quite alright this time. No scary final approach or anything like that. And then this time the only thing was that I checked for my bus schedule inside while I was still in the airport, and then I saw that okay, there was this one which was leaving in about 15 minutes. I was wondering like, can I make it? I made it, and I got home about after midnight. I think it was about 2:30 or something. And that is the end of the Budapest story. As always, I am still in love with this city. I would try very hard not to go in 24 so that I can see some new places and increase my country count. But maybe in 25 or 26, I will definitely go back. And next time I'll probably go back for a longer period, at least for a week or a couple of weeks. It's not very cheap. It's slightly cheaper than London if you are watching where you're eating and how much money you are spending and plan ahead, but it's not as cheap as some other city like Bratislava can be very cheap. Okay, now about the future of the podcast. This is the last episode of this season, so I'm going to take a little break after this, maybe about 4 weeks. So we've done 48 episodes, which technically is almost a year. Year is 52 episodes, so 52 weeks. So I'm going to take a few weeks of a break so that I can plan some next episodes. And this one has been very late. This is Wednesday, technically Thursday, because after midnight that I'm doing it. But I'm doing it while sitting in a hotel room in Phuket in Thailand, because my next trip has already started. And because of that, I'm not getting a lot of time to do everything that I want. Giving you a quick sneak peek into the next trip. The next trip is a mega trip, I call it. And the plan is to take 2 weeks out of, not 2 weeks, like 2 months out of my normal life, and then go to Southeast Asia, work remotely as much as possible, and then just live in these countries. So my countries of choice are India, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. Okay, and we will see how that goes. I'm still doing solo travel, so we'll see how it feels to be solo in Thailand. Well, I do know what I'm not telling you. And also how it works out to work remotely from this part of the world. And also quite a few different things mixed in between in there. So I'll take a break to prepare some episodes because I would want to do more video episodes, including on the podcast and on the YouTube channel. And currently last episode as well and this episode, I have not had the time to do the video episodes, and I had to do audio only. But on the YouTube channel there will be a video episode afterwards for both of these, for episode 47 and 48. So just see the link in the show notes and then follow that to the channel, please. There will be two channels. One channel is the English channel, for not that English channel, just the English language channel for my blog, which is called Sunny Escapades. The podcast will also be called Sunny Escapades, and the website, because it was related to Campfire Corner, so I'm gonna let the website go and we will just focus on the YouTube and Spotify and Instagram. Okay. You can find me in all these places, all the pictures, all the videos. You can do that. Website I was not able to update as quickly as possible anyway, so there was no point in keeping that. And the Hindi channel will be called Sunny Musafir. Musafir means traveler in Hindi. So we'll do both of these because I do like to do some Hindi language content as well, and I'm hoping that some of my friends and family, they will be able to connect better with me in the Hindi channel. Not that they can't speak English, but it's just Hindi has a different appeal for the Indian audience. It's hard to explain, but it's there. So this is me. Thank you for listening to so many of my episodes. Thank you for staying with me so long, and I'm hoping that you will come back for season 2 in a few weeks' time. And in the meantime, have a wonderful month, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you and bye-bye.